the Indian government is planning to privatize several public sector undertakings, PSUs, in various sectors. However, some of the potential buyers of these PSUs are facing challenges and controversies of their own. In this section, we will look at some of the issues faced by two of the Indian tycoons who are interested in acquiring the PSUs: Gautam Adani and Anil Agarwal. Gautam Adani is the founder and chairman of Adani Group, a conglomerate with interests in ports, airports, renewable energy, coal mining, and more. He is also India's richest man, with a net worth of over $96 billion. However, his wealth and his company have been under scrutiny for various allegations of fraud, tax evasion, and environmental violations. One of the most recent allegations came from Hindenburg Research, a US-based firm that specializes in short selling. In January 2022, Hindenburg published a report accusing Adani Group of engaging in decades of brazen stock manipulation and accounting fraud worth $218 billion. The report claimed that Adani Group inflated its share prices and revenues through a network of shell companies and dubious transactions. The report also questioned the legitimacy of some of Adani Group's foreign investors and lenders. The report sent Adani Group's shares tumbling, wiping out more than $50 billion from its market value and more than $20 billion from Adani's personal fortune. Adani Group strongly denied the allegations and accused Hindenburg of a calculated and malicious attempt to harm its reputation and business interests. The group also said it was considering legal action against Hindenburg. However, this was not the first time that Adani Group faced such accusations. In the past, the group has been involved in several cases of bribery, tax evasion, money laundering, land grabbing, and environmental violations in India and abroad. For instance, in 2014, the Indian government accused Adani Group of over-invoicing imports of coal and power equipment to evade taxes and inflate profits. In 2017, an investigative report by The Guardian revealed that Adani Group used a web of offshore companies to siphon off hundreds of millions of dollars from its Australian coal mining project. In 2019, the United Nations accused Adani Group of causing irreversible damage to the environment and human rights in its coal mining operations in Godda district of Jharkhand state. Adani Group has denied any wrongdoing in these cases and has claimed that it follows all the laws and regulations in its businesses. The group has also argued that it is contributing to India's economic growth and development by creating jobs, infrastructure, and clean energy. Anil Agarwal is another Indian tycoon who is eyeing the PSUs for privatization. He is the founder and chairman of Vedanta Resources, a natural resources company with interests in oil and gas, zinc, copper, iron ore, aluminum, and more. He is also one of India's richest men, with a net worth of over $10 billion. However, like Adani Group, Vedanta Resources has also faced several allegations of fraud, tax evasion, and environmental violations in its operations. One of the most controversial moves by Vedanta was the merger of its Indian subsidiaries Sisa Goa and Sterlite Industries. In the merger created Sisa Sterlite, later renamed Vedanta Limited, India's largest diversified natural resources company. The merger was challenged by the Indian government in 2014 on the grounds that it was a device for tax evasion by Agarwal. The government alleged that Vedanta transferred its 38.8% stake in Cairn India, an oil and gas company, to Sisa Sterlite along with a debt of $5.9 billion to avoid paying taxes on capital gains. The government also claimed that Vedanta undervalued its stake in Cairn India to reduce its tax liability. The case is still pending in the Supreme Court of India. Vedanta has denied any tax evasion or wrongdoing in the merger and has said that it was done for business efficiency and value creation. Vedanta has also faced several cases of environmental violations and human rights abuses in its mining and smelting operations in India and abroad. For instance, in 2018, Vedanta's copper smelter plant in Tuticorin district of Tamil Nadu state was shut down by the government after protests by local residents over pollution and health hazards. The protests turned violent when police opened fire on the demonstrators, killing 13 people. Vedanta has appealed against the closure of the plant and has claimed that it complied with all the environmental norms and standards. The company has also said that it provided employment and social welfare to the local community. These are some of the challenges and controversies faced by some of the Indian tycoons who are potential buyers of the PSUs. Their involvement in these cases raises questions about their credibility and suitability for acquiring public assets. It also raises concerns about the transparency and accountability of the privatization process.